Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and today I'm here with my January Destashify makes and my fabric haul. As you can see, we're in a different part of my new filming studio. You can probably just see, it's still under construction, you can see the mudding tape and stuff. We're in an atypical corner. This will not be a filming corner of my filming studio when all is said and done. But there's plastic covering everything on the other side of the room. In fact, I had to uncover some things. So in the process of getting my sewing room we are still under construction here. But hopefully this week, construction will be done and then we can paint. So fingers crossed that happens. But I have two pieces here that I made with my Destashify fabrics that I bought in December, made up here in January. And then I've grabbed four more fabrics that I'll make up in February that I want to share with you and my plans for those. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay. One of the things that I've been wanting to do this year, especially with my Destashify fabrics, I feel like it's a good chance to kind of try some new things, is to try some new to me pattern companies. I've been talking a lot about that, so trying to stay true to my word a little bit. So I've got one from a pattern company that's brand new. It's the first pattern I've ever made from this pattern company, and then the other one, while I have made patterns from this pattern company, I don't sew with them that much and wanted to try some of the patterns that I already own and give those a go. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, first one, let's talk about this beauty here. All right, this is a silk dupioni from Destashify, obviously, and this beautiful bright orange, which is one of my favorite pops of color to wear. And this fabric is very bodied, so I knew I wanted to do something kind of boxy with a big statement sleeve. So for this pattern, and I finished it really nicely on the inside, I'll show it to you here in a second. But for this pattern, I went with the Helen's Closet Ashton top. I already owned this pattern. I've made it for my mom, and I wanted to try it for myself as well. Now I made the cropped version, but I did lengthen it by an inch. And she has two size ranges. She has like a 0 to 16, and then like a 12 to 32 or something like that. I can't remember exactly what her size range is. But the larger size range comes as drafted for a D cup, whereas the smaller one is drafted for a B cup. I was right at a 12 is what I needed to make, and so I just went ahead and made the 12 in the larger size range because there's an overlap for sizes 12 to 16. There's an overlap there in the two size ranges. So I went ahead and made a 12 in the larger size range with the D cup, so I didn't do a full bust adjustment because it had the D cup. And honestly, I'm a little heavy right now, which my bust measurement changes drastically with that. It's a little tight in the bust. So I think going forward, and we'll talk a little bit more about this, I would do a little bit more of a full bust adjustment. Not a lot, but a little bit more of one, and then I think it would be perfect. Also, my darts are just a little bit high, and by doing a full bust adjustment, I think it will drop it where it needs to be. So I would still make the same size. I just think I need maybe another inch, so maybe a ½ inch on each side, maybe 3/4 of an inch for an inch and a half, and I should be good to go. So I will be doing that to this pattern though, just so, I mean, this one fits, I mean, I'll wear it, it fits fine, but for future ones, I think I will go ahead and do like a ½ inch to a 3/4 of an inch full bust adjustment on each side, and then I think it will fit perfect. So this is obviously a sleeveless pattern, but she does have a sleeve expansion pack, so I bought the sleeve expansion pack. I already own the Ashton. I went ahead and bought the sleeve expansion and hacked my own. So I just took the longer sleeve length and cut and spread. So I cut all the way up to the seam line at the cap of the sleeve and just spread so that I had it fitted in, you know, set in at the arm's eye, but then it had a big flare at the wrist, and then I just cinched it in with elastic, and I'm really happy with how this came out. I'm just really happy. Again, did I already say I lengthened the bodice by an inch? I did the crop version, but I lengthened it by an inch because I didn't want it to be too cropped. And I think it's perfect. Although, yeah, and I think once doing, I wanted to be able to kind of just do a little bit of a half tuck. But I did this one with all French seams. Look at that. All French seams throughout on the arms, on the side. This is finished off with the facing, and I clean finished that. Very pleased with the inside and the outside of this garment. The neckline is finished with bias tape. There's options for a facing on this or the bias tape. I went with the bias tape. Look how clean that is. It is very satisfying to have all the French seams. There's my shoulder seam and everything. And even there was no serger. No sergers were used in the construction of this blouse. Anyway, it made for a very clean finish. And again, it's a beautiful silk top. This fabric frayed like crazy, so I felt good doing the seam finish that I did because it really helps to secure all those seams. And it's a silk blouse, so want it to be finished nicely. So while this is a little tight right now across the chest, I think when I've not been taking very good care of myself recently. I've just been running myself real ragged, and likewise, when I'm tired and feeling rushed, I don't eat. I don't make the best eating decisions. Namely, sugar comes back in my diet. So as soon as I get a control over that again, which I am heading that way, I should, slim down a little bit. It fluctuates wildly. You can really tell when I'm on sugar or when I'm off sugar. I'm on sugar right now. Anyway, that is the Ashton. And again, I think a full bust adjustment will just make that just a little bit more comfortable to wear. But again, I'm gonna wear that one a ton. All right, the second top that I made this month is the Vicky Sews from Atelier Scummy. This is such a pretty top. Now I feel like it's looking kind of frumpy on Sally here, but I really like it on me. It feels very bohemian. I love the little half tuck into the high-waisted pants. I'm a big fan of this one. And this wool Shally is just beautiful. Now originally I said I was gonna do a dress out of this. For some reason I thought I had 5 yards of this. I did not. I had like two, a little over 2.5 maybe. So it was just enough for this top. But let's talk about Atelier Scummy for a minute. I was very impressed with the finishes that they have with their patterns. So, and this is kind of hard to see because the print is so busy. Again, this is a wool Shally, so it's a wool fabric that is woven in the Shally method. So it's got a beautiful drape, and it's tighter woven, so it's not itchy at all. I will hand wash this in my washing machine when I wash it, and then let it air dry. Little bit of steam with my steamer to release any wrinkles, and it'll be set to go. The same with this. I will wash this on a hand wash cycle with delicate detergent in my washing machine, and then let it air dry, hit it with a steamer, it'll be good to go. So I wash my silk and my wool. You have to be careful, especially with wool, that it doesn't felt, but it can be done. That's how people wash their wool clothing for hundreds of years before dry cleaners were invented. But I was very impressed with the finish of this. Now I did use a serger on this. I wish I would have done all of the clean finishes on this blouse because a lot of this is so cleanly finished, but honestly I was fighting the clock, and the serger was just quicker. But it's got a fitted sleeve that goes in here, and then it's gathered into the bottom of that, but it has a beautiful like shaping. It's kind of hard to see. A beautiful shaping, and then it gathers into this cute little cuff here at the bottom. It's got gathers in these yoke pieces, so you can see these yoke pieces here, and then the front gathers into there. There's a keyhole version and a V-neck. I did the V-neck, and I did the open back, which I think is really pretty. That triangle open back. I'll put it back on Sally, maybe you can see a little bit better. So it is a very loosey-goosey, kind of bohemian style top. I did do kind of a full bust adjustment on it, but because you've got these yoke pieces that come down here, and then the top is gathered in for the shaping, so the dart is all in the gathers here, what I did was I just slashed and spread my pattern in those gathers and spread it 2 inches, so which gave me an extra 4 inches across the whole front, and that seems to work perfect. And that was the difference between the ease that was supposed to be in the top and my like bust measurement. So I added so that it would be the same amount of ease from my bust measurement to what the final garment measurement was, and it worked great. I did do a full bicep adjustment into the fitted part of the sleeve, and that worked really, really well. It just drafts I have big upper arms, and so I have to do that a lot, and it worked out really well. And then in the back, so here's the back here, which also has a clean finish. And it doesn't show my bra. Everything in my bra is all covered and everything else, but it gathers, the back gathers up into this yoke piece here that has this beautiful crossover. I just think it makes a really interesting top and something, you know, like I haven't seen before, which is why I've been wanting to try some new pattern companies. And I'm just very pleased with how this turned out. So I have 2 tops to add to my arsenal of tops for the spring. So I'm already getting some spring sewing done, and that's very exciting. So there you have it. Those are my 2 makes from January. And now let's go take a look at my fabric haul. Okay, so like I mentioned, I have 4 fabrics that I grabbed from Destashify this month, although 2 kind of go together. They were sold as a bundle, and I'm very excited. We're going heavy with the silk this time. So I've got that silk blouse, now I've got another one. Okay, so the first fabric that I grabbed, and I have about 7/8 of a yard of this, but oh my gosh, guys, it is very sheer, but look, it's like a burnout print in this beautiful rust color. That's the back side of it, Whitney. It's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. So because I only have 7/8 of a yard with it, I wanted to do something kind of loose, but obviously that I could wear something underneath. And what I think I'm gonna do is make the Ashton again. So I'm gonna do the full bust adjustment. I'm gonna make the Ashton in this, and I'm gonna see. I may have to make it sleeveless, we'll see. I'm gonna do the bias finish on the neckline and also on the hem. So I'm gonna omit the facing that goes on the bottom of this top and just do a bias finish, just to make it look all, you know, nice and neat. But, and I may even do the bias finish on the outside. That could be cool, make it a feature. And we'll see, I may do like a contrast color that's in this. Instead of doing self fabric, like maybe one of these like, this warm brown, like this gold kind of color. I have some silk that's in that color. That could be really beautiful. But I think I'm gonna do the Ashton. If I can get a little sleeve out of it, I think I will put a little sleeve to make it like a boxy t-shirt. But if not, I'll just do the sleeveless version. So I thought that this would be beautiful to wear over camisoles and tanks and stuff like that, especially as the weather gets warmer, like this summer. And it's in my color palette, and it's just absolutely, the silk is stunning. So I want to keep it simple. You know, I wanted something, I mean, this won't have the body that the other silk top has because of just the type of fabric, but I think that it would be a really lovely, just like topper that I throw on, and it's gonna feel wonderful against the skin. Oh, here comes Gidget through the plastic. You can probably hear her coming through the plastic. Okay, next up, this was sold in a bundle. So we've got this beautiful aqua silk, which is in my color palette, and look at this print. So this is a crepe de chine. I have like 1.5 yards, like 1.75 yards really of this, but it's narrow. It's like 45, 42, 45 thick, or what, thick, wide. And it's a crepe de chine. So it's you know, a little see-through. You can see through that, but it feels like heaven. So I have that, and then I also have this beautiful print that is a charmeuse. Look at this. It has all the beautiful colors in it. I mean, and it's all in my color palette. Look at this beautiful silk. Are you kidding? Is it not stunning? Absolutely stunning. This is wide though. This is like 54 inches wide, which is really wide for a silk, and I have 1.5 yards of this. So all said, I have about, because that's narrower, the solid is narrower, I'm gonna say I've got about 3 yards-ish. And I am gonna play and make the Grace dress by Marcia Style. This is one of the patterns that I had picked for my pattern companies I wanted to try this year. And I'm gonna combine these two for that. So I wanna do view A, which is kind of the loose bodice that then has the skirt that falls, but instead of doing the tie straps, I wanna do the straps from view B that are like the button down straps. I think what I'm gonna do, I don't know, I'm gonna play around with it. I'm gonna color block it though. So I'm thinking maybe this in the bodice, this will be the skirt, and maybe this will be the straps, or we'll do like a combination of these two for the straps. I don't know, I'm gonna play around with it and see what I can come up with. The pattern calls for, I think, 3.1 yards, I believe. which I don't quite have that, but I'm also short. So I'm gonna have to, you know, reduce length by probably, you know, 2 or 3 inches, which is gonna help. So I think I might be able to make it work. And this pattern comes with cup sizes. There's like a A through C cup front and then a D through F cup front. So that's gonna be wonderful. So I'll obviously use the bigger cup size front. Very excited to try that out. So I am gonna do the grace dress. This will clearly be a summer dress, but you know, we'll go ahead and get it made up so that I'll be ready to go. Also, this has not been laundered yet. I can tell that the charmeuse has not been laundered. I'm going to wash this in the laundry by itself. Well, silk has a tendency to bleed dyes when it gets washed, so just be aware of that. Put a little color catcher or something in there with it. But I'm going to wash this on delicate with delicate soap and then dry it in the dryer. It will change the hand of the charmeuse. It won't be quite as shiny, but it makes it much easier to handle, and I don't mind it. I would actually prefer it to be a little more matte and not quite as shiny. So that's my preference, and I will do the same with this. Now, once it's made up into a garment, I will wash it on delicate with delicate soap, let it air dry, hit it with a steamer, and it'll be good to go. But just in case, I like to hit it with the dryer as its yardage so that I don't, nothing happens later on down the road. And usually, silk doesn't shrink. Like, you don't usually have that issue, so that should be good. But I'm very excited about this summer dress. And then finally, I'm very excited about this. This is gonna be just a creative project. I don't know where I'll wear this, but I am very excited about this. So when I was pulling the 10 ready-to-wear looks for winter and then the patterns and fabrics to sew them, I came across this, and I'll pop it up here, this Veronica Beard suit. And so it's a spin on the Chanel type suit, right? But it's just a little bit more modern to me. There's something just a little bit more modern. And I thought I really wanted to try and recreate something somewhat similar. So mine is not gonna be a quilt. I'm not doing a quilted jacket, not doing that right now. But I bought this fabric, and it is cotton linen, I believe. But look at this. It's cotton linen, and you can see it's got the cut threads. Yeah, you can see the texture there. So this is navy here, and then there's brown that's right here, like my real warm umber brown, and then you've got coral, and then you've got yellow. Really more of a lemon yellow. That's not really my yellow, but the other colors are. And then this is a cream background on the back. I want to kind of try and recreate my version of that Veronica Beard. I have two, this is really wide. This is almost 60 wide, and I have 2 yards of it. So I'm going to be making, I've made a couple of Vicky Sews patterns for my daughter, but I've not made any for myself. And I just am kind of curious to try them out for myself, just to see. So I've decided to do the Bryce jacket, or the Bryce blazer, which is a crop blazer. I think it's really cute, and I think it could be fun to wear with jeans, to wear with shorts, to play around just with a different proportions for me. You know, maybe because I'm short-waisted, maybe a crop jacket isn't the best. I won't be showing any skin, but I thought it might be kind of fun to, you know, you don't know unless you try. So I'm gonna try making that little blazer jacket, and yeah, in this fabric, and I'll line it and all that kind of stuff. And then I think I should have enough, because the jacket is cropped, I think I'll have enough to do like a short skirt. I say mini skirt, it'll be mid-thigh. It's not gonna be like super mini skirt. But I thought that it'd be really fun to try the Vicky Sews Haida skirt. It's got a really cool, almost like a faux wrap thing going on, which is similar to the Veronica Beard skirt. I may play around with doing some trims, like a blanket stitch or something with some yarn. We'll see. I'll look into that, play around with some samples and see if I can get that to look good, to do it and look good. But yes, so I'm gonna make myself a 2-piece suit, a crop jacket and a skirt out of this. And yeah, we'll see how it looks. I just think this would be so cool with like a navy tank underneath it, or that umber kind of color, or even the coral. Like all those would be good colors, or even cream. Against my skin. I think that would just be really beautiful to have like a camisole underneath it with the jacket and then the skirt. Where am I gonna wear this? I don't know. I mean, my church isn't that fancy, so I don't know where I'm gonna wear this. I guess I'll need an excuse, a really fancy brunch or something to go to. But I could see myself wearing these pieces separately. So yeah, that is the plan for this, and it's gonna be my real creative outlet for February. I've really been nose to the grindstone, gosh, really since the into November, beginning of December, just with some stuff behind the scenes, the digital class that I'm working on, which I'm still working on it, and that will be continuing through February. But I just feel like a lot of my sewing has just really, in my time and work time, has been very much nose to the grindstone. And I've had a big weekend this past weekend with some stuff behind the scenes. And now that that is, I finished that, I'm feeling good about things being where they need to be timeline-wise. So I need a good, not necessarily palette cleanser, because I wouldn't call the suit a palette cleanser, but kind of. Like just something where I can really get creative and it not have a purpose other than to be something pretty and to bring an idea out of my head and make it into an actual thing. So I need that. My mental health needs that. I'm sure I'm not alone on that, and I'm excited about digging into that. So there you have it, guys. Those are my January makes from Destashify, as well as this month's fabric haul. Go over there, see what's up. In all this construction, we've been moving around my totes that have fabric that I would like to sell in Destashify, and I think that's gonna have to be something for the summer intern to tackle when school gets out, because I just don't have time to take pictures and upload all of that fabric. So that would be a good intern project for the summer. Get a teenager to come over and do that for me, or one of my own. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, give this a thumbs up if you like this type of content. And make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I have a lot of really exciting things that I've been working on in the background, and when those start coming out, it's gonna be really good. You don't wanna miss it. A lot of fun, exciting announcements that are gonna be coming up here really soon. Friday, I have my, I was part of the, collaborators with the Cashmerettes pattern for February. So this is the third pattern that I collaborated with them on. You guys saw the Stanton expansion and the Ligon robe that I did. So the next one, it actually comes out on Wednesday, but I'm gonna wait and just put my video up on Friday, which is Cashmerette's February pattern. So I will have all of my stuff out for that on Friday. And it is a really, really good one. I can't wait to share it with you. I've been wearing it, which is actually against my rules. I normally don't let myself wear things until they've been up on the channel, but I have been wearing this and it's really, really good. I'm very excited about this pattern. It's a great one for now and for going into spring. So that will be Friday's video. And then Parker Ponte sew along. Been talking about that a lot. As of right now, I am aiming for February 12th. Now, that being said, my serger broke this weekend. Like, the lower looper broke. I have no idea why or what happened, but it's going, as you're watching this video on Tuesday, it's going in on Monday. So we'll see. I'm filming this on Sunday, so it's going in tomorrow. It will already be in when you're watching this. I think I need to buy a backup serger, just because when this stuff happens, I use my serger all the time for a lot of sewing, and I will obviously need it for my Parker Ponte sew along. So anyway, as of right now though, I think I'm going to be able to get everything sorted. So as of right now, the Parker Ponte sew along is scheduled to have the first part go up on Sunday, February 12th. So if you've been waiting for that, that is the date that I am aiming for. So yes, that will be up then. Okay, I think that's all I've got. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. Get some sewing in this week. I hope the weather is good where you are. I think it's supposed to get cold here again, like really cold. So hunker down if you're also in the same cold system. And I'll see you guys again on Friday. Bye.